This is the story about the little tree. Although the images and voice are generated using AI, the actual story is entirely written by a human. Let's begin. Once upon a time, in a forest filled with big and mighty trees, there was a small sapling struggling to grow. It was known as the little tree. The little tree spent its days dreaming of growing taller and bigger just like the other trees, but no matter how hard it tried, it couldn't grow. And no matter how sunny the day was, the little tree couldn't see the sun. One day, the little tree looked up at the dark blanket of branches and leaves hovering over it and cried out to the bigger trees, "Please, step aside, so I can feel a little ray of sunshine." But most of the bigger trees couldn't hear it, and those who did only laughed at the little tree. Feeling sad and disappointed, the little tree resigned itself to days of darkness. But one day, it saw a ray of light. "Oh my, are you the sun?" the little tree asked in excitement. "I never thought I'd see you, because I'm such a little tree. I try to grow big and tall, but no matter how I try, there are bigger trees all around me, and I can't grow when they block me from seeing the sun." The ray of sun smiled at the tree and said, "I am not the sun, but part of the sun, and just as light always finds a way, you too can also find a way." "What do you mean?" the little tree asked. "It means there are more than one ways to grow," the ray of light said, and then disappeared. The little tree, encouraged by the light's words, began to focus on other ways of growing without seeing the sun. Every day, the little tree would wake up early to try and consume nutrients in the ground, but before it woke up, the bigger trees had already eaten up most of the nutrients, leaving very little for it. The little tree made do with what it had and started to move its roots deeper into the ground in search of more nutrients. The farther its roots went, the stronger the little tree became, until one day the little tree was the biggest tree in the entire forest. And then one day a storm came. It was fierce and frightful, tearing through the forest. So many trees fell down in that storm. It was just the little tree and a few other trees left by the time the storm passed. "How did you do it?" one of the fallen trees asked. "How did you survive when others didn't?" "It's because of my roots," the little tree replied tenderly. "When there was no space for me to grow upwards, I grew downwards and focused on my roots, and that is why I'm spared." "We will keep that in mind," the other trees replied, thoughtfully. "It's not how fast you grow, but how strong your roots are."